Howdy, y'all. I got to the dentist way too early, so I wanted to do a proper intro to this video because I just kind of started it really abruptly and didn't fully explain what I'm doing, even though you can probably infer from the title. If you're new to my channel, my name's Sammy Jo, and I'm not like a weight loss channel, but I have, over the last year and a half, lost a good amount of weight. I've been able to put off 35 pounds and keep it off over the last 6-8 months. And I still have some weight to lose, but I haven't been on like a full, very indulgent family vacation in all that time. I was inspired by my favorite YouTuber, Michelle McDaniel, aka My Thoughts Will Probably Offend You. She did a few of these videos and I wanted to have a crack at it. So a couple of disclaimers. First of all, I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian. These food choices are mine alone and they fit my diet. Also, doesn't restrict anything other than two things, and one is for allergy reasons, so I avoid nuts at all costs. And then the other, just for me personally, I am pescatarian, and I decided that after about 5-ish years of being a vegetarian, the more I was working out, the more I realized I needed to prioritize protein more than I was, and I made the decision to start eating fish again. What I wanted to feel on this trip was a sense of balance, because I used to severely overeat. Once I started tracking my calories, I was shocked at how much I overate all of my life. So now, even though on this trip it was borderline impossible to track your calories, there's no nutrition labels on like the menus or anything. Not every place. Like some places do, but not every place. I mostly just wanted to make good choices, but still feel like I'm kind of indulging. And you'll even see on the last day, I started to have a little bit more sweets and stuff. Because, you know, it was the last day of vacation. It's all good. Also, I did have a little bit more alcohol than I normally do, so please drink responsibly. I think that's everything I wanted to say. I did maintain my weight. So I wasn't shooting to lose any weight, but I did also, not want to gain weight. So I think through just like listening to my body's actual hunger cues, resting when I needed to, playing when I needed to, I found a good balance, and on the first day of vacation, weighed in at like 155.6, and I came home weighing 155.6 or 8 or something like that. And so all around, maintained my weight. Very proud of myself. Like I said, I don't typically post weight loss content, but I was inspired to do this type of video, and I actually had a lot of fun making it and editing it. And I would like to do more just like regular what I eat in a day, what I eat in a week, other different vacations where I'm not quite as active as I was at Universal Studios. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, like it. If you want to subscribe, that would be super cool and sweet of you to do. And let's get into the video. So first we started by waking up at an ungodly hour and saying goodbye to the sweet little kitty cats at my mom's place. That's Mika. And if you have seen any of my videos before, you will remember sweet Iggy Smalls. That little tiger is the cutest thing of my entire life. The main objective for me on this vacation was to feel balanced. Like I didn't want to restrict myself at all, while I still wanted to make good choices. So with that said, we're starting our day at McDonald's at 5 a.m. I know. This is the first time that I went into a McDonald's and did not order a potato product. We love to see growth. I started with an Egg McMuffin with just cheese and egg, no meat. Look at the size of that egg compared to my boyfriend's hand. That is so small. But it did get some protein in me. Anyway, I ended up not eating that fig bar. I saved that for when we landed. I don't normally eat that early in the morning anyway, so I just wasn't very hungry. Are you even a vlogger if you didn't vlog your takeoff when you travel? In beautiful sunny Orlando, Florida, the palm trees immediately gave me life. I am obsessed with palm trees and sunshine. When we were waiting for our taxi to take us to the resort, I did eat that fig bar. It was very delicious. It's hard to go wrong with apple cinnamon anything. Shortly after, we arrived at the Loews Royal Pacific Resort on Universal Studios properties. It's the most beautiful hotel I've ever stayed at. We were greeted with adorable frog caricature statues, and we walked into the hotel. It is the most beautiful smelling resort I've ever been in. I don't know if that's weird to say, but it's true. Hi, Shannon. Our check-in wasn't until later, so we walked down to the pool. In the spirit of balance, I immediately got myself a truly wild berry seltzer. And then we had lunch from there too. So some ducks came to join us, and we had a really, really delicious hummus plate with carrots, celery, pita chips. I know it's a little one, but I had a lot of that hummus, and I have some alcohol. I'll be good until dinner. I split this cheese pizza with my cousin Jenna, and then I also had some of the nachos that were on the table. And we just laid by the pool until it was check-in time. Throughout different little kiosks in the hotel, they had this really delicious citrus-infused water. But then I was still in vacation mode, so I got a hard frozen blueberry lemonade with vodka in it, and it was absolutely delicious. I walked over to this side of the pool for a nerd moment in 3, 2, 1, here we go. Here's the thing, I'm pretty sure this pool area is where they filmed a scene from Sharknado, like 4 or 5. Or was it 3? I don't know, but there was definitely Sharknado happening. When we finally checked into our room, I had one of these granola bars that were completely nut-free. It was in the white chocolate chip flavor, and we got all dressed up so that we could go get dinner later. We took this really cool ferry out to City Walk, and we did some mini golfing until it was time for dinner. Dinner this evening was big fire American fare, so a lot of wood-fired steaks, kind of that thing, so I opted for the salmon. Before that, we had bourbon cheese fondue, I think it was called, and it came with veggies, bread, and it was so good. Everything was delicious there. I would absolutely recommend it. And then there's my salmon plate, came with some veggies and potatoes. The salmon was cooked to perfection. David really wanted to show off his meal too. He got a ribeye. And then that was our first night at City Walk. Unfortunately, whatever I had yesterday had me up at 2, 3 in the morning with some bad heartburn. I got over it pretty quickly though, because it was day 2. Who they think gonna beat them bongos? Nobody except the LA Rams. Here I am showing you my secret weapon on this vacation. Again, I am pescatarian, so I do eat fish, but I don't get a whole lot of protein otherwise, so I packed Premier protein shakes with me on this trip. I am a big Premier protein stan. If YouTube ever panned out in the future, I would be flabbergasted to have a dream sponsor like Premier protein. So we went down to the resort little convenience shop, and then I actually ended up saving that hummus for later. It was raining on this day. We go to Florida for one day and it rains. It's all over our vacation. It was still beautiful. We went to Harry Potter World. My heart sang the Hogwarts alma mater. And then we rode the Forbidden Journey, went to Jurassic Park, and David and I immediately got in line for the Velocicoaster. Let me tell you something. The Velocicoaster is the most amazing roller coaster I've ever ridden in my entire life. My voice was really, really sore from the screaming, so David and I got some liquids. I got a Powerade so I can get some electrolytes, and then it was time for all of us to meet up at lunch. So we went to Thunder Falls, and there wasn't a ton that I could have here, but I did get a rice bowl and opted for the jackfruit instead of the chicken or pernil. And it was kind of like a Chipotle bowl. It was pretty okay. I'd never had jackfruit just plain like that. The fried plantains on top were absolutely delicious. The perfect little sweet treat to end that meal with. And I had a Coke Zero with it just for a little bit of caffeine. Had another granola bar because I didn't eat a whole lot of that meal. We went to go ride the Hulk next. The Hulk was my favorite roller coaster going into this vacation. Obviously, it got beaten out by the Velocicoaster. After that, it was hummus time. It's got 10 grams of protein in that little thing, so I was really impressed by that. And then we took the Hogwarts Express on over to Diagon Alley, visited a Shrunken Head, and then David and I went to go get some beverages. I've been craving a pumpkin juice ever since I knew I was coming to this vacation. Pumpkin juice is my very favorite drink in the Wizarding World. Satisfied my sweet tooth. It was absolutely refreshing and everything that I wanted. Well done, Dragon! And then it was time to watch the Super Bowl. David and I headed out early so that we could watch it. We reserved a table for our family to join up later. But we started early. I had myself a little Smirnoff, a little pineapple White Claw, had another Truly. David and I had a sword fight before we ate some pretzels. And then for dinner that night, I ordered a veggie flatbread pizza. It was really, really good. It had mushrooms, squash, spinach on it. It was seasoned really well. It was a little bit spicy. I could not finish that whole thing, though, between the pretzels and the pizza and all the alcohol. So I sadly watched the Bengals lose the Super Bowl and took the pizza home. The next morning, I had Premier Protein shake with the leftover pizza for breakfast, and that was really convenient and affordable to do. It's a little bit colder this morning, so I opted for jeans. After that pretty big filling breakfast and a protein boost, David and I decided to walk to the theme park instead of taking the little ferry because we just wanted to warm up, and then immediately got in line for the Velocicoaster again because obviously. hung out in Harry Potter World for a bit, and stood in the absolute longest line ever for the Hagrid's motorbike. That was a really, really good ride. I love that roller coaster so much, but it was a very long time. And then we decided to have a pretzel afterward because we had a Valentine's lunch reserved for almost 3 o'clock. So I didn't want to have nothing between that, but I didn't want to have a whole lunch before another lunch. After that, we sat out in the sun, just finished up our water, and then my cousin and I rode Rip Ride Rocket since we didn't get to do that yesterday. This ride is a whole lot of fun. And a little weight loss goal I had was to feel comfy riding on this. And between the 2 years that I'd been there, I did not feel like I was not going to fit in a roller coaster at all. So that was a really big win for me. All right, time for a Valentine's Day romantic lunch at Mythos. It's kind of a Greek-inspired restaurant on the Islands of Adventure side. I had never been here before because of money, but it was really, really, really good in there. Everything was decorated really pretty, and we started with something called spanakopita dip. I'm gonna spell that later and make it correct on the screen. Didn't know how to pronounce it, but it was really, really delicious. It was kind of like a spinach and artichoke dip and had really like the best pita chips I've ever had on that. And then for the weirdest entree you've ever seen, I had a spinach and ricotta ravioli, and they asked me if I wanted a protein, so I said, put a salmon on top. It sounds really, really weird, but it actually ended up being really good. And then he talked me into a espresso shake. So I got one to go because we were ready to walk around and see some more things, like the Gringotts ride on the Diagon Alley side, Universal Studios. And then I really wanted to show David the Fast and Furious ride, which is not extremely popular in Universal Studios, but if you're a big fan of the movies, I've never seen the movies, but David is a big fan, and he said it was all pretty true to the experience of watching a Fast and Furious movie, so I'm really glad we got to share that together. All right, it's time for our last full day, which is kind of sad. Having a little protein shake to take my vitamins with it, and then I decided to vlog my hair getting braided for no reason. We decided to take the boat this time, and while we were hurrying our way over to the Leaky Cauldron for breakfast, we were interrupted by a SpongeBob parade. So I screamed all of my love for everybody, and then took a picture with Patrick. The Harry Potter breakfast, I tried a sip of David's hot butterbeer and fell in love. This is my new favorite drink, second only to pumpkin juice. I didn't want a big, huge breakfast for some reason, so I only ordered a side of potatoes and a side of eggs. It is the smallest side of eggs I've ever seen, and I kind of wish I had ordered 2 sides or just gone ahead and got like an entree. But the potatoes were really, really good, so that helped. We got done with the Gringotts ride and wanted a family ice cream break. So I just got a soft serve strawberries and cream. It was just the perfect sweet treat. It wasn't too much. It wasn't too heavy. It wasn't too sugary. I didn't know when I'd be coming to Gringotts again, so I said bye to the dragon. And we went back on the Fast and Furious. We took the whole family this time instead of just me and David. And we stopped and listened to some construction workers bang on some trash cans. Actually, I really love this show. If I worked down here and took music a bit more seriously, this would be a really cool job for me. That or the singing, whatever, you know. After we listened to some good music, we ran into #ThePanda, giving everybody some waves, and then we decided, well, that's our cue, so we should probably go on the Jimmy Fallon ride. Then we headed back over to the Islands of Adventure side. I went through this brick wall. I am a wizard. It was while we were waiting for the train that I started to get a little bit hangry, so I knew lunchtime was coming soon. When we got into Hogsmeade, we went immediately to the Three Broomsticks, and that's where I got a fish and chip lunch, and I had that with a hot butterbeer for dessert. Cheers to David and his butterbeer. We went on the Forbidden Journey ride one last time, and then we went on the Velocicoaster one last time. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Look at this thing. You're upside down for like 3 seconds. That's so cool. After that, we walked around the gift shop for a little while. I had a little selfie moment in this cool light area. And did I say we went on the Forbidden Journey one last time? Because now we actually went on the Forbidden Journey for one last time. Got in a really long line for the Hagrid's motorbike adventure, and then said goodbye to Hogsmeade one last time. Oh, that archway makes me a little bit emotional. So our very last dinner was at the NBC Grill and Brew. I ordered fish tacos. Our food came really late, I'm sure it would have tasted a lot better if I hadn't been so hangry. It was a very hangry day all around, but I think we were just tired from all the exertion of our bodies. Overall, it was really good. I ended up not finishing anything, and at least while I was waiting for my food, I got to watch somebody wipe out in the Olympics. My apologies to whoever this is. Alright, well now we're ready to say goodbye to the beautiful hotel. I have one last protein shake that I'm going to take with my vitamins and eat with the Don't Go Nuts bar. Then when I got to the airport, I was still a little bit hungry and I needed some caffeine, so I had a That's It bar, 2 cheese sticks, and a Coke Zero. Cherry flavored, obviously. And that was pretty much everything that I ate. I felt really good. Like I said in the intro, I maintained my weight doing this, and there was a lot of walking around to burn off the calories. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a great day. Thank you again so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye!